Yes, Cage the Elephant by Cage the Elephant does really hold up. As the Gen Z rocker himself, Connor Farrell, I'm here to let you know this is one of the most slept on albums of all time, despite the fact having the banger, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked on it, which gets all of the flowers it's worth, and that's amazing. It's beautiful. But think about this. Look here. In one ear and out the other, amazing, amazing rock song. It's probably that song, Back Against the Wall, and Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, that really was my entry points for this band. I grew up listening it to Alt Nation on Sirius XM. That's where I heard this band a lot, and I really fell in love with them. And then I really heard Shake Me Down, Always Something, and Aberdeen off the second record. I really started with this band with the first and second record. That was all Cage the Elephant there was. So that kind of made it really interesting to me because I went, this is one of the greatest rock records of all time. And I didn't know at the time, but really my interpretation on this is artsy, like art school kids from Kentucky, kind of rockers, kind of art, like they got a lot of different things going on. But then what happens is they make one of the greatest rock records of all time in 2009. This is like the end of kind of the rock bubble starting to pop. The rock bubble popped, okay? What happened was rock producers and the whole industry got so big in the 90s with all the money that was going around from CDs and everything and ticket sales and yada, yada, yada. And the whole industry got super bloated and everyone was taking their cut and there's 15,000 middlemen. There's a really good video by Rick Beato that really breaks down kind of what happened with the downfall of rock. But by the time you got to the late aughts, 2000 to 2009, you slowly were seeing like rock like just kind of go off a cliff as the internet started to exist. It's amazing because this is one of the few bands from the last 25 years that has made really a seminal record that is a must listen to rock record. And this record is, I would say, it's a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. It's so good. It's really good. I'm listening to it right now, actually. I'm still on in one ear, which actually tells me we've been going for 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Anyways, not only are you going to get what you clicked on in this review, dear internet viewer, you are also going to get a whole lot insane amount more. So whether you're a longtime rocker looking to see what Gen Z thinks about rock and roll music, or you're a new Gen Z TikTok Gen Alpha kitten who wants to figure out, what's some good rock music? What should I listen to? I like, one of these other Cage the Elephant albums, but I don't know. I never heard the first one. I only know that one song. You know that one song? Cigarette, Daydreamy. Like, that's all you know. So you're here. You're here. You come to me. Look at me. I'm looking here. Boom, 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 boom. There's an advertisement for go to the gym and be short so that you can build muscle easily. For the audio listeners out there, you don't realize that. Hello, audio listeners. That I am flexing, but I am also like 6'7", I am 6'7" tall. No, I am like 5'7". So I'm like 5'7", but I am 21 and I started working out when I was like 17, but I didn't really get into it like consistently until like maybe 2 years ago when I was like 19. But pretty good gains, but that's because if you're a shorter person, you usually have shorter length limbs and the muscles on it. So they actually go kind of more out and it's really easy for them to look bigger, quicker. Anyways, this is not about my immaculate God tier Sigma physique as some might go. Some might go, they say, Connor, they walk up to me, they look at me, they say, why do you look like a Dorito? Why are you so porous as he? Why are you wearing an ascot? And I say, because you can buy them on Amazon. Kids, old people, anyone who's listening, you are allowed to wear whatever you want. You're allowed to have any sense of fashion that you want. You're able to say that the light here is probably too bright and you want to turn the light on your face down a little bit. There you go. Now I look aesthetic aesthetically pleasing, as the kids might say. Anyways, let's see if I turn that up. Oh, that might have been it. This light should be here. No? It should be there. I'm moving the lights in the studio right now, and I'm getting back to Cage Elephant by Cage Elephant. This is one of my favorite records of all time. Like I said, I got into the band when it was just this record and the next record. So that, I guess that puts it at 2011, 2012. So I was born in 2002, so I was probably like 9 or 10, probably like 9 years old when I really got into this band. So that gives you context. Why do you think I started a band at like, I started a band when I was like 17? That's because I'd been like into bands since I was like 7. I think when I was 6, my favorite band was Green Day. My parents played a lot of like rock music growing up. And it's very funny. There's the band Ministry, and they have a song, Jesus Built My Hot Rod, which is a very kind of like edgy and, not that accessible kind of thing if you're a 4-year-old. But my brother, who's like a year and a half, 2 years older, he was listening to, as a kid, he'd be like, me headphones. And he'd be like 4, and he'd be like, give me the headphones so I can listen to Ministry. And it was his favorite song. He was like, ding, 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 ding. It just was real consistent. It just dunka, 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 dunka. So my brother loved it. Likewise, for me, it was probably Cage Elephant, first 2 albums, Black Keys, Brothers, El Camino, Franz Ferdinand, first record. Ever since I've been alive, I can remember my mom she bought herself Franz Ferdinand's first record on CD. And that's the only possession I remember having from as a kid. And then one of the first records I got in the store 2 days before, I think, my 11th birthday, October 7th, 2013, came out, Melophobia, the third Cage Elephant album, which is probably the one that made them the most famous. Also came out the same year that Arctic Monkeys released AM, which made them the most famous in America. But ironically, for both bands, it was not for what I loved, which was the first 2 albums. The first one, which was really good, to the point, rock, punk, kind of artsy, has a little bit of angst, a little bit of edge to it. And then the second record gets almost kind of cleaner, but also more distorted, and also like more spacey and reverby, but also more dense. Both records had, both bands had the same thing. Arctic Monkeys' first 2 records, Cage Elephant's first 2 records. But what ends up happening with Cage Elephant, ironically, is I don't know if it was parallel thinking and just it was the time, but in 2013 they released their biggest, but their album for me that signified like that era that I really fell in love with, that version of the band was gone. Now, for Arctic Monkeys, I think after that really signaled that the band had died. I think after the first 2 Arctic Monkeys records, the band stopped being undeniably good, and they started being good for me as a fan, because I'm going to like anything they put out. I liked Arctic Monkeys' 3rd and 4th records, and kind of when I got to the 5th record, it was bittersweet because it's the biggest songs, but no one knows what happened on the first 2. And so that's kind of how I feel here with Cage Elephant, is people don't know this first record. And I love this first record. Like when I have kids, it's going to be mandatory that you listen to this album all the way through. You need to do that like 4 or 5 times. They're going to hear it a lot, and it just seems weird to me that no one in Gen Z seems to know about this album, and it hasn't blown up on TikTok or anything, to my knowledge. And I think it's probably because Cage Elephant have continued to be a good band, but they're no longer like this kind of leading the forefront of rock and really keeping rock alive kind of band that they were. And yeah, it kind of breaks my heart a little. But I really like the new stuff. I do like the new stuff from Cage Elephant, but it's none of it. And the only reason I give all this prelude is none of it even comes close to how good the first 2 records are. The 3rd record is amazing just in brute force. The fourth record, super hooky. Everything's really hooky. Everything's really good. It's really good songwriting. Cage the Elephant has never done anything bad, but they stopped doing the stuff that I think is their best. They've never beaten this record or the next one or the one after that. The first three records are the best Cage the Elephant records by far, hands down. And if you're a fan and you don't think that, then I think we like Cage the Elephant for different reasons. And that's fine. But as a rocker myself, as a Gen Z rock critic, as a Gen Z rock star, as a Gen Z rocker in general, I come to Cage the Elephant and I like the distorted guitars. I like the noisy composition. I like the things. They're going to go amused. They'll never face the view. I just like the tempo shifts, the mood shifts, like the pauses, the aggression, these things. He's got the nasally voice. I know you're a robot. They design your life. What is it? Here we go. It's coming up. They'll know that you're tired of this because you're a robot. They design your life. Two souls that you knew was right. Hope we don't get demonetized for that. I tried to sing it very differently from him. But yeah, all these albums are kind of bittersweet when I go listen to them now, but I get so happy when I hear this record. It's so amazing. The transition between like Tiny Little Robots into Lotus, Jones in the Valley into Judas, like those are the things that make this. This is one of the first times I realized that a record could be good. Not just a band or not just a song from a band, but I realized a record could be undeniable, a classic. Like, I'm listening to Tiny Little Robots right now, right? And it's just so good. It's just so good. Honestly, it really is. And I need to blow my nose. There you go. So here's the thing. The lyrics on In One Ear. So good. James Brown, Tiny Little Robots. I mean, this is one of those albums that makes me feel emotions. It gets my body, my subconscious, my conscious, everything locks in. And I get put into like, I'm there. Everything turns up. And I feel like this is what I think rock music is to me, is creativity and a voice. I think those are the cardinal things you're going to see in rock music, right? But really art in general is someone spitting out ideas like Rick Rubin would say, right? And you're just like not even like judging them. You're just throwing out ideas. You throw, shoot, throw the ideas. But then once you've got them, you listen to them all. You try and mix them. You still be creative. But once you've got all the different combinations, all your creative ideas, you got everything going, everything's in the gumbo of life and rock. Then you go and you go, no, that one's better. 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 That one's better. You keep doing that. That's you've got the creative and you've got the critic. And I think to be a good musician, you need both. I think Cage the Elephant have found that they're still creative and they're still good critics. That's why they still make good music, even though they're not doing what they're doing on the first album. I hate to keep ragging on them, but I just recorded the Arctic Monkeys videos. Arctic Monkeys stayed creative, but they stopped being good critics of themselves. Like, even just listen to Dangerous Animals and the stuff off the second record. It's not, or the third record, I mean. The third Arctic Monkeys record, Humbug. I like Humbug because I love Arctic Monkeys. But that's not the same bar that they set with the first two records. It's not even close. It's a good record if you blindly like everything the Arctic Monkeys do, like I do. Except for The Car, their latest record. That is not good. Not a good record. I think that was an example of like barely creative and barely filtered at all. That was not a good example. And you know what gives me the balls to say that? Listening to this record. Listening to Cage the Elephant, I go, this record is so good, so stunning. This is what's interesting is a lot of people like to say, maybe the boomers, older rockers, your longtime rockers, you're going to talk about the fact that you have this phrase, this saying where you go, the second album is the best from a band, right? The second album, that's where the band really finds their legs. And I guess I can try and look for some examples right now, but I'm more familiar with a band being really good on their first record and their second record, and then can still be good on the third record, but then they kind of fall off a cliff. Like a good example, Cage the Elephant, first record, banger rock record. Second record, incredible rock record. Arguably better than the first. It makes me feel it's so emo, and I feel the pain. And I feel all the emotions, and I feel like a better version of myself after listening to it. I feel like the real me. I feel a sense of oneness. It feels like a spiritual friggin' listen to. Then the third record is really good, but it's artsy, and they're really stepping around and doing stuff. But it's just it's way less filtered into one creative vision. You know, there's way less of one's particular voice, but it's still really creative, and they've really it's more ambitious. But then they take a nosedive off a cliff. I think you see that with Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant still is really good, though. I think you see with the Strokes, you see there's a lot of bands. The first two records are really good. Arctic Monkeys' first two records are incredible, unimpeachable. They're 10 out of 10. Same with the Strokes. First two records are 10 out of 10. Cage the Elephant, 10 out of 10, the first two records. I'm going to keep doing this. I think the only band that took that I can think of, maybe back in the day, pre-2000, a band, it was their second record that was the one that was really this is the seminal, this is where they started being good. An example of that, I'll go Blur. Blur, their first album is fine. Queens of Stone Age, their first album is good. I like it, but because I blindly like anything Queens of Stone Age has ever done. I'm biased. Same with Arctic Monkeys. I'm biased with all of that. I totally get it. I'm biased with the Strokes. I love Come Down Machine. Is that what it's? I was going to say Comeback Machine. It's not even on the top ones. Come Down Machine. Yeah, I love Come Down Machine. I can't not listen to the latest Strokes record, though. I'm sorry. I draw the line there. But let's go. Let's look at this. So Queens of Stone Age, second album. So maybe boomers are right, but that's the 90s, right? That's the 90s still. Late 90s, but still 90s. Blur, second record. Definitely in the 90s. They kick it off there. I'm trying to look. I'm looking through. I haven't listened all the way through the first Metallica record, but I have a feeling that Ride the Lightning is a better record. Sorry. I think that's true that's probably true there. I think Creed, every record's amazing. No, I don't know. I haven't listened to Creed. System of a Down, though, that's the 90s, and the first record's the best one. The first System of a Down record's incredible. The same way the first Cage the Elephant record's incredible, and no one recognizes it. No one recognizes it. It's infuriating. Think about this. This record by Cage the Elephant is legitimately one of the greatest rock records of all time, and people don't even know it exists. They know 2 songs, 3 songs. This is one of the greatest records of all time. You could study this for years. You could study it for decades, and no one's going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm trying to bring back rock. That's my thing. I'm talking here. Here's the thing is, these bands are good. These bands are amazing, but a lot of them stop being rock bands. They stop carrying the baton and pushing rock forward and making sure that rock exists into the next decade. Maybe that's because they're too happy and they're too comfortable and too successful now to remember the pain and anger that gets them to brutally force rock and greatness into this world. I don't know what it is. You know what? I don't know. Cage the Elephant is incredible, but they are not making raw, powerful rock records anymore. They're making really good, groovy, kind of like what I would call more pop rock in the 80s, but they're not. Even then, it's a little toned down. It's a little groovier, a little artsier, and I get that. I just Back Against the Wall is so good. I mean, the lyrics, and that's the thing on this record you're going to notice is the lyrics are so poetic, and it's just, we're pulling up the lyrics right now. Come on. By a thread and I'm feeling like a boy. I am stuck here in between the shadow of my yesterday. I want to get away. I need to get away. So let's see. Free Love was one of the singles. Oh my God. Free Love's good, but not single worthy. But clearly here, this is I can hear they were listening to like, blues rock, garage rock. They were listening to like Hendrix. It feels more like that. It feels like they're having fun. It feels good. Clearly they're listening to James Brown. It's the name of the second song. But just like, come on. This record is incredible. Judas is one of the greatest songs of all time. Backstabbing Betty hits me so hard, like in the throat, in the gut, everywhere. Even looking at this, it's incredible how low the number of views on the lyrics are, right? I'm looking here on genius.com, right? Genius.com/albums/KGElephant/KGElephant, right? Just for reference, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked has 280,000 views, right? When people are looking at the lyrics. The Arctic Monkeys records, even the worst ones, had like this number of views. This has the same number of views as the worst Arctic Monkeys records. This is criminal. This is truly a crime that's being committed by you people not listening to this. Seriously though, like go listen to the record, top to bottom, with headphones, go for a run, be on a car ride on a road trip, put these in on the airplane, go to sleep on the flight. Like, that's the kind of thing you need to do with this record. This record is so good. You guys are making me cry. It's so good. Yeah, and you could say, Connor, you've provided, zero insightful commentary on this record. And I would say, yeah, no, this is a good record, especially if you like. I think the reason this record has never gotten its due is because it didn't have what Arctic Monkeys had, where they got big in the UK on the first record, so everyone in the UK knows the first record, right? And then AM is the only thing people in America know, if they know Arctic Monkeys to begin with. Yeah, what is the problem with these bands? They just get soft after a while. Cage Elephant is still good though, and like they are softer and they're good. And Franz Ferdinand, incredible, but softer. Well, no, they were never super edgy. They were never super aggressive. Franz Ferdinand, I can't know. They're unimpeachable. I take that back. Cage Elephant has gotten like less rock and roll, less in your face, and that's fine. But my whole thing is we need to start carrying the baton. It's up to Gen Z. And so that's why I make these videos, so that you, Gen Z people, and the boomers, and, longtime rockers, whatever, if you're millennial, you're Gen X, whatever, we appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. But we need to go out there. You need to listen to this record. And if you're a young person, you need to pick up a Harley Benton guitar. You need to go to reverb.com, type in Harley Benton, and you need to find the one that looks cool to you. They're only like $200, and they're so good in terms of quality that you can use them to record music and have it sound professional. You don't need a $1,000, $3,000 Gibson or Fender. You don't need a $3,000 guitar. You can just use a $300 or $200 Harley Benton guitar that you got off Reverb and a couple strings and a couple things. Now, I'm going to have attached in my bio on whatever platform you go and find me on, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's, Spotify even. I don't know if I can put links there, but wherever you find me, this is X. X is what they used to call it Twitter. Now it's called X. Wherever you are, go find, I have it called One Man Band Stack, or it's going to be some variation of that in the future. But really, I'm just trying to give you, I'm like, here's for free the software to make music. Here's for free drums. Here's for free how to take the drums and to change them so you can use them and write whatever you want. Here, is a pedal so that you can sound like Royal Blood and you can just do, single note songs. We're just doing this. You barely need to know how to play guitar. You just watch a couple of videos, and really you don't even have to know how to play live. You don't have to know how to play live. You just watch a video or two, and then you get one good take while you're in your bedroom coming up with something, and loop it while you're doing the drums, and you come up with some vocals. You just listen to it and go, blah, 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 blah. I don't need you to tell me how to go back to Mexico. I don't need to go. I don't need to go to Mexico. You telling me I need to go. I don't need I don't need to go. I don't need to go back to Mexico. I don't need to go. I don't need to go. I don't need. Like you can, I don't need, 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 I need, I don't need, I don't need. I don't need to go. Bow, 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 a banana, a banana, now, bow, 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 bow. I don't need to go back to Mexico. Bow, 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 bow. I don't need to go back to Mexico. I don't need to go back to Mexico. I don't need to go to Mexico. So I just rambled, but you could take any of those ideas and you could literally take those songs. Take this, I don't care. Take the lyrics, take whatever, and come up with something, but just play around. Get the tools in front of you and then sit down and just go, and literally if you just go, you hit the open string, you could hit another open string and hit another open string and hit another open string. You could literally write a whole song where you just, all the guitar part is, and you go to the high E, and you can put one finger at the fifth fret on the high E, or the fifth fret on the low E. Those could be the four things you hit the whole song. You do 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 Bro, easy money. I tell you how to make easy song right now. It's so easy, I tell you. But that's what you do. That's what you do. Make music. You make rock. Yeah. So this record, Backstabbing Betty, hits me in the gut, punches me, kicks me, Soil to the Sun. It's amazing. So really what I'm saying is you should go and cage your friend in, and you should send this to your friend. If your friend is like, hey, I really like Come a Little Closer and Take It or Leave It and Cigarette Daydreams, you should probably just show them like in one ear, see what they think. You should just send people this album. You should be listening to this album. If you haven't heard this album, go listen to this album. I would say right now, but I want you to watch another video. But go listen to it right now. Then come back later, like in a day or two, or you can come back right after you're done listening and be like, holy cow, you can comment something and then go watch me talk about the next album. But yeah, you're really, really, really going to want to go check this one out. This is one of the top 100. I think I'll probably make a list of the greatest rock albums of all time. But this is the top 10, top 20. And that's only because there's a lot of really good rock records. But you're talking about perfect albums. I'm trying to think. It's only 2 from Arctic Monkeys. Sorry, it's only I would say the first 2 Royal Blood are impossible not to make it in the top. I love the rest of Royal Blood, but that's because I like Royal Blood no matter what. Queens of the Stone Age, I would put 3 albums in there, maybe 4 or 5. So you can see how you start to squish down on how many records you can put in the top 10. That's pretty easy. But yeah, Franz Ferdinand has, I would say, at least the first 3 records. But I might listen to this latest record even more because the latest Franz Ferdinand record is so good. So good. It's surprisingly good. Oh, the first Fratelli's record. Definitely that one. But this is up there. This is in the bucket. Same with Elephant by the White Stripes. Elephant by the White Stripes. Cage Elephant by Cage Elephant. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not by Arctic Monkeys. Songs for the Deaf, Queens of the Stone Age. I'm just trying to think, off my head, are there any ones that are just you should really go listen to? Park Life by Blur. Oh, the first 2 Strokes records. Yeah. The first System of the Down record. It's kind of a different sound. Trompe Le Monde by the Pixies. It's the white one. And then The first two Weezer records are perfect records, pretty much. So you can see how it starts to get like pretty hard to fit people. But I think top 100. Can I find 100 records that are perfect rock records? I don't know. But this is certainly in the top 100, top 50, top 30, top 20, whatever. Send this to your friends. Start listening to this record. Listen to it all the way through. Don't put it on shuffle. Hear it go. But if you really want like a song to convince you it's worth doing that, I would say listen to In One Ear, Back Against the Wall, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked if you haven't heard those. But I would do Judas and Lotus. Those are the two ones that like really like if you don't know this, they're like say hello to Judas, say hello to Judas. I see the Lotus flower got me thinking about the way that we live. This hate that drives you. It's gotta stop. Come on. You're being silly. Anyways, it seems the record is coming to a close. And that means it's time. You know what? Look at this. For the audio listeners right now, I'm showing the Spotify when you pull up Cage Elephant. What happens is you don't have the first album or the second album pop up in popular releases at all. You have the last three albums, which is just dumbfounding. I like Social Cues, but Tell Me I'm Pretty's better. And I like Tell Me I'm Pretty, but Melophobia is better. And I like Melophobia, but the only three albums that should be up is the first, the second, and the third. Tell Me I'm Pretty is amazing. But it's grandma rock. It's music that I put on when my grandma, when I was visiting in town, and I didn't have a car, and I was like, hey, grandma, could I use your car so I can drive around town, run some errands? She was like, yeah, let me come with you. I was like, what can I put on the aux that is good, but will not, make grandma go, oh my God, this is devil music. She's from Missouri. She's from Missouri. Well, I was talking in Missouri. Where now, Missouri. I was from Missouri. Well, Towner. That's how my grandmother sounds. And so I know I'm sensitive not to play like System of a Down, with her in the car. Even the first two, Cage Elephant records. But I put on Tell Me I'm Pretty. And she was like, now you're punching back. Just food for thought. I'll tell you this first record, this is not grandma music. Unless your grandma's really cool. Like your grandma watches like The Boys. Your grandma like is like playing Warhammer. Your grandma is like in the gym with the Ronnie Coleman poster on the wall. Grandma's just like eat clean, trend hard. Guys, don't take steroids, by the way. This is me, the Natty King. See, right now, I bulked up. I'm in a higher body fat, so you can't really see the separation between my tricep here and my bicep and all the other different muscles. But you can see the total amount of muscle I've got. Pull up the shoulder. You can see this is not nothing. That's popping out. See that? Maybe I can do it. It's a sizable amount. Anyways, you should go lift. Grandma should go lift, with lighter weights, not close to failure. But this is if you want to have a good workout, you want to have a fun workout, be in a good headspace, you're not fighting demons or anything, listen to this record. And if there's a little bit of negativity that's like in your brain, it'll get out. There's points in the record where it's good. But this is actually a perfect workout album. You could keep it kind of quiet in your ears. You're not going super loud on it. But you're going to get in the zone. You're going to be working out. You're like, Cage Elephant by Cage Elephant. It's pretty good. Now, if you want to fight demons in the gym, second record's where it's at. Cage 2, Thank You, Happy Birthday. Oh my God. It's like Doom. You walk into the gym, you pull out your ray gun, your minigun. I don't know why I did Trump when he walked into the gym. Anyways, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. I'm doing, Anyways, you walk into the gym, you go, demons, I need to fight you. And then you go, Timmy Town. And you go and you grab your, you grab your Thank You Happy Birthday record off the shelf. You throw it into your headphones. It goes boop. And it goes into your brain. Your brain's animated cartoons like Tom and Jerry. You can't see it, but I'm going, huh? And your brain. And then you enter Doom. And Ronnie Coleman and Arnold Schwarzenegger are there cheering you on as you're fighting the demons. Even now, this sounds like too fun. This sounds too fun. But this record is a fun workout record. It's so fun. What else is it good for? It's good for putting your baby to sleep. No, it's a good record. It's a good entry rock record. It's a really good entry record. Like if you want to get into rock music, maybe I'm off on that, but I did not want to listen to Korn and System of a Down. Like when I was in middle school, I didn't want to listen to that. I wanted to listen to this, and I did listen to this. And before that, I listened to a lot of Green Day. Listen to this. Listen to Green Day. That's how to get people. Get your normies. Here's how to get them in. You give them the first Cage the Elephant record, and then if they're like, this is good, but I want something heavier, you go, second record, don't worry. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Okay? So I'm going to make a point right now, and this point is go watch the next video and go listen to this album and send it to your friends and come back and say hi. Okay, bye-bye.